Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dana and I'm so glad I get to share my love of makeup and beauty with you all. Today I am so excited to film because I just got a package in the mail and I can't wait to play around with it. I got the Ofra and Samantha March Belongs To collection in the mail just the other day. It was stuck in Canadian customs for a very long time, but I finally have it. I was so excited. So I have played with this once, I couldn't resist, but I am going to do a look and first impressions with it today, and we'll chat a little bit more about the collection. So I'll start off just showing you the PR box. So it is themed like a book, so you got like the little pages on the sides and the cover, the little band that holds it closed. It actually even opens like a book. And then inside you get the sort of front cover. It says belongs to here with a space for your name. You get a very sweet little note from Sam here. You also get a description of the products as well as an adorable little sticker sheet. Hoping that's focused. It's so cute. I can't wait to use it. I love stickers in my planners. And then inside there is a little space where the products go. I have taken them out already. And in that space you do get the Life's a Draft palette. This is one of Ofra's mini mix palettes. So it just opens like that, and that's what's inside. These bottom three are face products. There is a blush, a highlighter, and a bronzer, and then 8 eyeshadows at the top. And you also get the Sam Squad lip trio in here as well. There is Peony, Millie, and Queen. So if you haven't watched Sam's information video all about this collection, I will link it in the cards above because she's obviously going to have far more information than I am. But she does go through what all the shade names are, how she picked them, what they were inspired by. But from what I understand, the theming of this palette was really meant to be very much about, you know, self-expression and continuing to write new drafts to improve. You know, Sam is a writer, so it's sort of a double meaning of drafts of your book, but also drafts in your life and continuing to you know, improve upon the previous draft. So that's why this palette is called Life's a Draft. So this is what the palette looks like. I love it. I think it's so cute. It's very true to Sam. Like, it's exactly the sort of thing, if you've been watching Samantha March on her channel for a long time, it's exactly the sort of thing she's really into right now. It very much meets her personality and her makeup style, so I think this is really well coordinated. So I'm gonna swatch from this way, across, and then this way across, just for your information. So this first shade is the shade called 9, or 09. So it's sort of like a pinky gray taupe, but warmer. Like, it's not quite all the way neutral gray. It's a little warmer, a little more pink. The next one here is Ram. And so Ram is sort of a deeper, I guess it would be more of like a burgundy almost. Like, it's almost sort of purpley wine colored. I'm doing very light swatches. You can absolutely build these up, but I'm just showing you just a quick swatch of what they look like. The next one here is the shade Honors. And so Honors is a little bit more pinky red with a bit of shimmer. I'm not sure if that is showing up, but it does have shimmer. It's quite nice. I really like it. And the last one in the top row here, that is Peace. And so Peace is sort of, I would say Peace is the most sort of brown of the set, but it's definitely like purpley brown. It's not all the way true neutral brown. Starting on the second row here, we have Maya, which, if I'm not mistaken, is the name of Samantha March's niece. And so Maya is like a very peachy pink shimmer. It's so pretty. I like this one. I think it would be beautiful all over the lid. This next one here is Cherry. And so Cherry is more of a true red matte. It's a cherry or sort of a raspberry color, like exactly kind of what the name would suggest. That's the kind of color you're gonna get with that one. We've got 23 here, which is a matte, a little bit more of a greigey taupe relative to that first one. It's a little more gray, a little more brown, a little more purple. It's not quite as pink. And then the last one here, this is ink. And ink is a very sort of bright, bold, like really raspberry kind of color. It does have shimmer to it as well. So that is the whole palette swatched out. Sorry about my very weird swatches, but I just wanted to give you a quick sense of what the eyeshadows look like. So for face products, we'll start off with the blush. The blush is called 6. So it is kind of peachy, almost bronzy kind of tone. It definitely has sparkle in it. It is a shimmer blush. Yeah, like peachy bronze, at least that's how it's appearing on my skin tone. Next we have Dream Chaser, which is the highlight. So Dream Chaser is sort of like an icy, white, champagne-y kind of color. I'm really hoping that's showing up properly on camera. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love that one. And the last one is the bronzer called Key. So that one is also shimmery. It is, at least on me, fairly warm and kind of light to mid-toned. And I'll swatch the glosses for you quickly as well. They are sold separately as well. You don't have to buy the entire PR collection. You can buy just the palettes or just the glosses. I chose to buy them both together, but you definitely don't have to if you're only interested in the palette or only the glosses. That option exists for you. So this shade up here, this is Peony. They are quite sheer. So this one is sort of a light pinky wash of color and sparkle. Next I have Millie here. Millie is a returning shade from a previous collaboration Sam did with Ofra. This one was a fan favorite from that collection. It is just a clear gloss with sort of a silvery blue sparkle to it. And the last gloss in this collection is Queen. And Queen is a sort of bronzy, coppery kind of gloss here. So it's a little bit darker than Peony, but still very sheer. Okay, so I think we should zoom in a little bit and get started on this eye look. All right, so now that we're all zoomed in, I'm just going to sort of brush my bangs out of the way. I don't have pins with me at the moment, oops, but I'm gonna just brush them out of the way. I'm gonna start off with some eye primer. I am using the e.l.f. All Day Stay eye primer. Sort of the first one I grabbed out of my collection, if I'm honest. I always apply eye primer with my fingers. You don't have to. If you prefer a brush, that's cool too. This stuff works pretty well with both, but I find my fingers is faster. And then I'm just going to give that a second to dry. All right, so to start, I'm gonna grab a big fluffy brush and I'm going to take this color up here. This is 09. And I am just going to pop that into and just above my crease. Just in a very soft, fluffy blend all the way across. So like I said when I was doing the swatches, 09 is a little pinker than this one down here, 23. So I think I'm gonna lean into that kind of pink tone. And I am going to dip into this color down here. This one is called Cherry. And I am going to use Cherry as more of a actual crease and in the outer corner shade. One thing I really like about this palette is that it really does give you the option to go very soft and subtle or build it up, be a little bit more bold. So you've really kind of got a lot of variety here that you don't always get with purple palettes. Sometimes it's like all or nothing with purples. So I really like that this has the option to kind of be flexible and go for a few different looks if that's what you're into. I'm doing this look without a mirror. I'm actually just using my little viewfinder here, so it's, I apologize if I'm making funny faces. I'm just trying to be able to see. And I'm gonna take a slightly smaller blending brush and I am going to grab into ink, which is this deep one on the end. Ink is technically like sort of a satiny shimmer. but I find I can use it as more of a matte as well. It's not like sparkly, so it's not too intense. And I'm really just sort of placing the color and packing it on, and then I'm gonna blend it out afterwards. So going back with that big fluffy brush, I'm just going to blend out ink whenever I popped that. For the center of my lid, I'm just going to take this shade down here. This one is Maya. And I'm just going to use a flat kind of shader brush just to pop that across my lid. And then just to boost the sparkle a little bit, I'm actually going to grab into the blush that is 6, and I'm going to put that over top of Maya. All right, and then with that same shader brush, I am going to go back into Cherry and just touch up my under eye area there. And I'm just going to, again, use that big fluffy brush to blend that out so it's a little softer, not as harsh. I am going to quickly do my liner and lashes off camera, and then we'll come back and do face. All right, so eyes are done. I am going to go in with the face products. Now, as a general rule, I don't like shimmer blush and shimmer bronzers. I prefer matte blush and bronzers, but I'm going to use them all today just to sort of give you an idea of what they look like on the skin. But I think predominantly these will be eyeshadows for me. So I'm just going to take a big fluffy brush and dip into Key. And just sort of warm up the cheeks a little bit here. I think the shade might be a bit dark and warm for me as a whole, even if it was matte. I'm going to take a little angled blush brush and grab 6. My one gripe about this palette, the only thing I'm really finding that I don't love, is this blush. It's just got a lot more shimmer than it's got pigment, in my opinion. I don't mind it. I don't think it's a bad blush, but again, it will probably be an eyeshadow for me more frequently. And then I'm going to take a little highlighter brush and grab Dream Chaser. I love this shade. I think Dream Chaser is amazing. It's so like just icy and wet looking. I really like it. For my lips, I am also going to lean into the pink eyeshadow, so I am going to just grab the shade Peony here. I'm not going to put anything under it, I just want to have sort of the natural looking lips today. I really like the way these feel. Fabulous. All right, so that is my final face and eye look. I will zoom you back out and then we can chat about final thoughts. All right, so zoomed back out, got a bit further away look at the final face and eye look. I really enjoy this collection. I am so glad I have it. I think it is great. There are features of it that personally wouldn't necessarily be my first choice if I was to create a palette, but obviously I didn't create it. Samantha March did, and I think they fit very well with her exact style of makeup. So like I mentioned, I'm not the biggest fan of the shimmer blush or the shimmer bronzer. Personally, I would have preferred matte ones, but again, they are fantastic quality and they can totally be used as eyeshadow, so I don't mind. I generally find I have trouble with face and eye palettes anyway, and usually I end up using most face products as eye products anyway. I don't care. It's fine. I'm okay with that. If you like shimmer blush or bronzers, or these tones will work better for your skin than they work on mine, you might really like them, but personally, they're just not my favorite. However, Dream Chaser, this highlight, 100% absolutely beautiful. I love it. I think it's beautiful as a highlight. I think it's great on the eyes. I like that a lot. So today I went for a little bit more of a bold eye look. I kind of tried to play up those reds, the raspberry, the cherry kind of shades. But you can definitely go softer. You can definitely go more neutral with this palette, which I think is a really nice feature. As I said, you don't tend to find a lot of purple palettes that can go deep and also can go light. Usually they're a bit more intense, or they're very light, they're more lilac-y. As a whole, you don't find a ton of versatility with purples, in my opinion. I really like that this can do both. Personally, I prefer a little bit more of a bolder eye look most days. I don't have restrictions on what I can wear to work or things like that, so I don't tend to have to pay attention to like office appropriate makeup. Some people do, and in which case this would be great because it can do those more neutral, soft, ethereal, office appropriate looks, whereas it can also go bolder, brighter, more red, more intense color, which I think is a really cool feature. This is actually the first Ofra palette I've ever tried. I don't know necessarily how consistent it is with other Ofra eyeshadows or face products because, again, I've never really tried them, so I can't speak to any of that, but from the other reviews I've watched, most people said Ofra is a very consistent brand, so I would watch those reviews and decide for yourself, but it sounds like it's relatively consistent to what the other Ofra qualities is. Millie is definitely a fan favorite. It's one that people rave about all the time, and I actually see comments on Instagram all the time asking Ofra to bring this out as an individual so people can buy it because they're going through tubes of it. Personally, this is my least favorite gloss in the collection. Entirely, again, personal preference. I don't love to layer my lip products. I generally like to put one lip product on at a time, and I don't think this one looks as nice alone as Peony and Queen do. Again, entirely personal preference. You can totally wear this alone. You can layer it if you like to do that. I am definitely going to get use out of this, but out of the three, I like these two better. I really like Peony. I think it is an absolutely beautiful sort of pinky, glittery shade. It looks really nice alone to just amp up a lip to look really natural. You can layer it again if you want to. I personally don't. Queen is gorgeous as well and much more unique to my collection. I don't really have sort of coppery, bronzy lip glosses as a whole. I tend to prefer pinks. So I really like having this one in my collection because it is so unique and so different. The formula of the glosses feels really nice. They're soft on the lips, they feel smooth, they feel comfortable to wear. You can't really feel any of the glitter in them. They are all shimmery, but you don't feel like grittiness to your lips when you touch them, which I think is pretty cool. I really enjoy this. This is actually one of the first YouTuber collaboration collections that I've ever purchased where I knew the collaborator or I knew of the collaborator before I purchased the palette. So this might bias me a little bit because I do really like Samantha March. I think she's a fantastic content creator. I love to watch her videos. So overall, I might be a little bit biased towards this collection. Normally, I actually do the reverse. I buy the palette first and then go, I wonder who that person is. Angelica Nyqvist with the Club Nebula palette. I definitely bought that palette before I'd ever watched a video of hers. Oops, she's also great. Side note. Biases aside, I do think this is a really good palette. I do think it is very true to Sam's makeup aesthetic. I think it's very much what she likes to do with her makeup. And even though it isn't necessarily my perfect palette, I am still gonna get a ton of use out of it. I think it is really pretty. I can definitely amp it up to the level of intensity that I want. I can also go for something a little bit softer if the mood takes me. I am gonna get use out of all the products. Even the blush and bronzer are gonna be eyeshadows. They're not gonna go to waste. I really like the lip glosses. I love the theming. I think the whole book theme and the, continuously writing drafts of your life, I think that's a really beautiful message. I think that's a really something we all need right now, is just remembering that not everything's in our control, but we can continue to write the next draft. And I think that's a really, really beautiful sentiment that comes along with this collection. So I really like it. I do think it is worth the money. I am really glad that I purchased this for myself. I hope that gives you a better idea of what this Belong To collection looks like and how it performs, some of the ideas of what you could potentially do with it. Obviously, like I said, I went very intense, but you can soften it out. It's easy to do. I hope this might help you decide if maybe this is a palette or a collection that you want to pick up or not. I really enjoyed filming this video, so as long as I'm having fun and somebody out there finds it helpful, it's a win in my book. So I hope you really enjoyed this video. I'd love for you to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!